Thank you all for joining us today and Happy New Year to everyone. My name is Rashmita and I'm the event planner for Microsoft Reactor Bengaluru, India. This session will run over the next 60 minutes including Q&A. The session is being recorded and will be uploaded to our Reactor YouTube channel. I will share the link to our YouTube channel in the chat section soon. Quick word on a code of conduct. Please be respectful of other people's views, understanding of differences, being kind and considerate in the way you engage. The chat will be open throughout and we do encourage you all to participate. Also, please keep your mics muted during the session. I would now like to welcome Swamy, our speaker for today's session. He is an aspirant software architect and currently works at Applied Information Sciences. He loves to learn about new technologies, but for now, I will hand over to Swamy to begin the session. Over to you, Swamy.
Thanks so much, Rashmita. Hey guys, thanks for joining. So today's session, we have a lot of things to do. I will give you the link of the repository. So the entire code will be here in my Vichy pile or speaker series 2022 and under Microsoft Reactor. And this is session 9. So you'll have the entire source code and this demo script, everything will be here. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll put it here in our chat window. So that way you guys will be able to go grab it and give it a shot when you get a chance. Okay. So that being said, what are we going to do today? So you have, we'll spend some time on different topics and okay, so I'm still a learner, so apologize if I do any mistake. So we do work on deployment slots. It's purely hands-on, like any of my other sessions. Every session will be hands-on, so very less of speaking or slides. I don't come with any slides. I just come with demos directly, and we discuss there. So we'll work on deployment slots, and then we'll go ahead and work on web jobs. And then in this web jobs, we'll see how many ways the web jobs can be created, and at least we'll create 2 different types of web jobs. And then we'll park this web application backup. I thought that let me take that with the session 10, where I have only on the scaling exclusively and web app scaling, and we'll see that how it automatically scales. We'll see that, but I just want to park this and the GitHub code change tracker. We'll see if time permits. We'll go over this one, but I'll park it web application this one, and then we'll work with this application insights for web apps, and we can use that for web API too. And then working with application insights for Azure Functions. So we'll be using Visual Studio 2022 and .NET 6, latest .NET 6. That's what we are going to use it. Okay, so it's all, as I was mentioning, it's purely the hands-on mode. Let's get started with that. Okay, so what do we have right now? Let me come back and start with this one. I have this this resource group, which is AZ-204 MSFT Reactor 001. So let's use the same because I already created the storage account for the web jobs. So it will be easy for us to go ahead and discuss. Okay, let me do 1 or 2 duplicates of this so that it will be easy for us to switch between these instead of struggling at later point of time. Let me create it up front so it will be easy for us to switch, so that I'll ensure that I'm on the same resource group. It's my dashboard. switch the directory, Swamy. I want to switch the directory and let me switch it to my directory. Sometimes it troubles. Okay, that should be fine. Okay, so without any further delay, let's get started. So let's first work on the deployment slots. So we'll see this deployment slots for 1 minute, and then we will go ahead and get going on this one. Just like let's set up the context first before we go ahead and start working on uh, hands-on. Okay, so in good olden days, around 2006, 7, and before also it could be, I don't know, but at least as far as I remember, around that 2006, 7, and 8. After that or before that also, it could be the same thing. So what would have happened is we will have set of boxes. Set of boxes in the sense like we have a typical 3 tier, like this is UI, this is middle tier, and this is DB backend tier. Okay, DB tier. So these 3 boxes we call it as a prod. So they will have their own IP, and let me delete that. I don't know, we don't have that much time to go ahead. So these 3 will be UI tier, middle tier, and the database tier. So this will have, all 3 will have the public IP. So let's assume that that IP is, anyone has something, please raise your hand, but please mute yourself. Uh, it is like 172.0.0.1. Just I'm giving hypothetical number. I don't know if it turns out to be a real number. I'm sorry for that, but I'm giving a hypothetical number which I'm cooking up. So this will be like this. So what will happen is these are the boxes. What if there is some malfunction in these 3 boxes? So what we used to do is we used to deploy, when we are deploying, we'll deploy on the same set of binaries. Same set of binaries we used to deploy in another set of servers. So this servers we used to call as a dark pod. Okay, this is this dark pod. Okay, that's dark pod, and this is prod. So the prod is the one which will be always active. The prod is the one which is always active. Why do we need a deployment slot? So we're coming to one of the use case or motivation. So that's the prod, 3 set of servers, and another 3 set of servers will be dark pod. That means we'll deploy the same set of binaries, but we don't make those IPs active. So just in case we want to deploy the version 2 of the same application. So what we used to do is version 2, we directly go and deploy on the dark pod servers, not on the prod servers. So what will happen is this prod servers will have the version 1 code, and the dark pod is, initially it was version 1. So it, from version 1 we pushed into version 2. We pushed the latest binaries of version 2 on the dark pod servers, and we will do UAT or validation, and after the deployment we call the business users, they will validate it and they'll say that all is well, and we will send out an email saying that successfully we have deployed so and so latest binaries and these are the features. We'll send out the release bulletin to everyone. And after 4 days, we found a major issue. Then what we can do is we can make these right. Then what will happen is, now this will become the dark pod, because now the version 2 is there, isn't it? So now what will happen is this will turn into dark pod. That means this we will switch off with the same one with the same v1 binaries. This we will switch off. This we will switch off. And here what will happen is now this will become the pod. I'm sorry. What? I can't even type. Okay, this will become prod now. So here two scenarios are there. After 4 days, if at all there is an issue, then what we will do, the 173 series, we will switch it off and we'll bring back the 172 series. If at all we need to do a rollback, that's a quick way to roll back. Okay. Else, after 15 days, there are no major issues reported. In that case, what we will do is with a decent amount of confidence, because 15 days there are no major issues reported means it is assumed that we might not hit uh, with any roadblocks, and we will deploy the same version 2 on the 172 series uh, machines also. These are all physical machines which exist. So that's the good olden days we used to do that. So, and we saw different scenarios. First thing is we have version 1 deployed on 172 series, and the same we deployed in 173 series, but 173 series will be switched off. So it will, we call it as a dark pod. And when we are deploying the version 2, what we do is we deploy it on 173 series. We'll do a UAT, and then we will certify that it is good. After the business users certify, we'll send out an release bulletin saying that the version 2 is there, and we'll switch off the 172 series VMs, the physical machines, and we will switch on the 173 series. And if something goes wrong, then we can flip 172 series and switch off the 173 series. Else, after 15 days, we will deploy the version 2 on 172 series, so that the version 3 will be deployed on 172 series. So that's how we used to flip that. So that's one of the use case which I practically faced it. Okay, that's the one of the motivation. I don't want to tell that that's the only motivation, but that was one of the motivation to have this deployment slots. Okay, so we have the pretty good documentation here in Microsoft. So how do you create the staging slot is we will add the staging slot, and we'll specify, and if you want to copy any clone any of the settings, but we don't do that for today. And then what some of the people would like to do is they would like to do an A/B testing where we can go and switch the traffic between between different slots, similar to this 172 and 173 series story. Like if we assume that this is prod and this is dark pod, and prod and dark pod will have a same version. Now to dark pod we deployed the version 2, and we want to test that. We can test it, and once everyone certifies, then we can do a swap. We'll see that everything in action. Okay, that is there, and I just want to highlight few other things. And settings that are swapped, here they have given what settings that are swapped, and what settings that will not be swapped, or also it was pretty much given in this. And swap slot, we'll see that how do we do the swap slots, and it gives this what, and it says that what are the old values, what are the new values. It will give that. We'll see everything in action. Now uh, it has changed a little bit, and this is custom warm up. This is a code. What will happen is the application initialization, that, and we can write this application initialization code here. So before swap, this warm up has to happen. We need to write it here. And important thing is this traffic. So if you want to do like an A/B testing or something like that, we can say that 90% of the time the traffic should go to the prod, and 10% of the time we'll make it 50-50, and we will try that, so that we will see what will happen. Okay, and route production traffic manually we can have this one also, but to a decent extent, um, rest of the things are this, and we need to start doing it. Okay, just like I want to quickly walk you through what are we going to do that. So let me come back over here, and let me go ahead and create two virtual two apps real quick. Both are .NET 6. I'll go ahead and create app. Let me switch back to my MVP thing. App dot college. Okay, app dot college dot web web Blazor. We'll practice. We'll work on two different things. Okay, one is Blazor, and I select .NET 6 here, and I'll put it in East US. Okay, I already created the standard plan, and let's go to the deployment. We'll leave everything as it is. Oh, hold on. I have application insights over here, which I already created it. Let me create that and come back, and let me go ahead and make some space and delete this one so that we'll again recreate it. Web browser, that was Blazor. I type yes. App service, I'll delete that and we'll recreate it, guys, in a minute. Okay, the deployment is succeeded. Let's go ahead and see that. Okay, it should be Blazor is here. Okay, let's use the same naming convention, and we'll create one for uh, Razor pages. Razor web app. Let me switch back to my Microsoft MVP, and I call this as Razor. Right? So that's there. And let me make this .NET 6 Windows, and it is East US. That's the standard one. And in the monitoring, I want to push that to the centralized one. Review and create. So in this window, let's open the application insights and keep it ready so that we will be able to see that after some time. Okay, that gives us number of server requests and everything. You can come and see the application map. We'll come and discuss this in length 20-30 minutes from now. But at least let's purely focus on what is there at first. Okay, we'll come back to this one. So what did we do is we created few resources. We just created two web apps, app services, and one is we created for the Blazor, and the second one we created for the Razor pages. So dismiss all, those will come, but we don't need to worry about that. So this is the one. Okay, so let's go ahead and start creating the apps. I just go because I'm not using. Previously, we did a lot of deployments, Web API, Blazor WASM, and other things. But I am making a simple Hello World apps so that we more focus on the deployment slots instead of 3-tier or n-tier application with the Redis cache and all those things. We'll come back to that in future episodes for sure. So I'm taking a simple web app, And let me go. And that's the one here. I'm calling it as college.app. So it is college.app, and we'll go ahead and create it here. That's the folder where I'm selecting this, and I'm ensuring that it is .NET 6 and HTTPS is there. I just go and click on create. Let's see, is it creating? Yes, it is creating app. We call it as one, we call it as app, one we call it as app R. So for Razor. Okay. So this nothing new, folks. It's just a hello world of the hello world of the Blazor one. So let's quickly execute it once on our local machine, and then we'll go ahead and start working on that. Give it a minute. It's pretty fast. I have seen that difference when I created a Blazor application in .NET 5 and I created a Blazor app in .NET 6. I saw quite a few benefits in that. It is pretty much faster than the previous version of .NET, and also the debugging has been made pretty simple. Okay, and let me execute it one more time, and I want to emphasize a point over here. Let the browser comes, and if I go and do a check here, so you can go ahead and see that it does download all those things, but right now we didn't do uh, it for the first time, so that's the reason it's not showing. But if not, it will definitely. Let's try this in an Edge browser. Let me go and open an Edge browser, and I will go and try that. So you can come and see that. Yeah, see this? It is downloading all the DLLs, including the Blazor WASM, and you can see that Blazor WASM WebAssembly, and everything will get downloaded. All the DLLs, including the application DLL, okay, including the application DLL and Blazor WASM, C.NET WASM, every bit and piece, it will get downloaded. Now, if I clear this and do right mouse click, empty cache, hard reload, you are not seeing that all those DLLs, the 100 or 50 DLLs which were getting downloaded in the first instance will not get downloaded. So that happens only for the first time. When you're accessing any of the Blazor WASM app, it gets everything. I mean, all the DLLs, everything, it gets downloaded. Uh, for that first time, until unless I make some change, add something in the code, or add a new libraries, only those libraries will get downloaded. So that's one tip of this Blazor WASM. Okay, so now that we have our Blazor WASM, let's go ahead and deploy this. So I go and I want to publish that, and let's see the publish target as next Azure App Service Windows, and that's the NFR. That's what we want. And inside this Microsoft Reactor, we created one for this Blazor WASM, right? So at this point of time, you can see that there's in the deployment slot there is nothing, and you click on next and click on finish. So let's finish that. And let's go ahead and deploy. And in the meanwhile, I want to come back to here. Let me minimize this all. And you can do the same thing from Visual Studio Code. And you have the same Azure Explorer here. That's an extension. And you can go and check everything here. So you can come into this place. You have your apps and you have the application settings, the database, deployment slots, deployments, and what all the files which are there and the logs. Everything you can visually check it right from your IDE, whichever the IDE you're using. And similarly, you will have the Cloud Explorer here also. Let's see that. Right now it is deploying. We'll spend some time over here. So see this, at this point of time, you will have only the hosting HTML in that hosting start HTML. This is the hello world of the page which gets deployed. So that's one here, which you will see if you go to the site right now. You will see this one. Now it is deploying, so it might not be, but we can do a refresh. Now nowadays these IDs are becoming like a gated community. Like you have an apartment, you have a gym, you have a swimming pool, you have a school, you have a hospital, you have everything here. You don't need to go anywhere outside your gated community. Now nowadays IDs are becoming like a gated community. They are bringing in everything. Well, all the tools you need it, everything is in this ID. I don't need to get out of this Visual Studio Code to go and check what is happening in my Azure portal. See, I can I can create a new web apps. I can do the deploy the web apps, and I can go and check the logs right from here. See this, it is getting this application insights. It is getting this Kudu console. I can go and watch the event log. And previously, I used to get into that Kudu console to go and know about what is happening. See, this is exactly the event log on our local machine or any server where you go uh, event VWR and go and check that. It's exactly the same event viewers you have with the logs. So you don't need to get out of your ID at all. You're getting everything on your ID. You don't need to go anywhere. See this, all the new folders we are able to see right now. All the new folders are here. Okay, that is another tip. So this, we did the deployment, and looks like it is going on HTTP. Let's do an HTTPS, and we are loading the HTTPS. You can see this icon. That's a wildcard. That's a wild. Oh, I'm sorry. That's a wildcard thing, which is the fetch data. We'll play with this. Okay, so we can come in here, and connection is secure, and you can check the validity of the certificate. And in the certification path, you have the root certificate and also the wildcard Azure website certificate. So that's the one we need to ensure that always you see the lock symbol. This is, we deployed everything. So let's come back to, we have multiple tabs. This tab is exclusively for application insights. Let's keep it there. And the next tab we'll use for this Blazor app. So we'll come and see and play around this one a little bit. We'll play, and I think we already have seen that we can enable the application logs and the file system logs. This we have seen in the previous sessions, but we can go ahead and see. And another thing what we can check here is the console. We can come either to the console, or we can go to the advanced Kudu advanced tools. Let me go to this advanced tools, and now want to compare and compare the pain which we used to take versus what these people have made our life easy. Like in fact, we are becoming lazy. And see this, now we used to come to this one, either CMD or whatever is that, and you can see that all the things which you are seeing right here in your Visual Studio Code, we used to take extra pain. See, you see this all, maybe the deployments folder here, and you can see everything here. So let's go to the site, and you're seeing the deployment. You see this deployments over here, and let's do a refresh. Some of the things which it has to refresh, but we used to take a lot of pain to get into these things. We go to dub root. This is the hosting start file, hosting start file which we have seen that. Let's check that. And also now we have our web config, and here if you go and check this web config, they have the web config and they are doing the URL rewrite. So anything which is coming to the root, they route it to the www root slash, they're routing there. And within this, it's home site www root. If I come in here, I can do dir, I can do that way, or I can do cd dub root. I can switch like this. Okay, now if I switch, you can see that the upper portion it's changing. So we can see all those things. See that exactly whatever we used to see here in the Kudu console, you're seeing the same thing. Like you have the dub root, you have everything, and similarly you have logs, and also you can see this web jobs over here. We'll come to the web jobs in 20 minutes from now, but at least we are able to see that. Okay, and what else? What else? Okay, cool. So that's a pretty much how much pain we used to take to go and find out what is happening, what whether there is some error or what. Let's assume I can come in here and I can say that v1. So it tries and there is an exception. So as far as I know, it should give us this in the event log. Inside. Sometimes it takes time, but it will give us the logs. So we can check all the things right here itself uh, in front of us. The only thing is we need to refresh it. Apart from that, everything is well. All is well. See this here, we are seeing only one. There we are seeing two. Something it shows that. Okay. So now let's come back to the deployment slot. So that's the advantage of using IDs. Nowadays, they are making it like a gated community. So right now we are seeing that we have only one slot. Okay, and that slot is getting 100% of the traffic. So let's go ahead and create a new slot. It's not needed that you need to always call staging. You can call as dark pod. Call it as a dark pod. Okay, I'm not cloning anything. So now the traffic to dark pod. We are creating a dark pod slot. Let's take the traffic little later, but let's see. While the dark pod is getting cooked, we'll come back to this. We'll come back to this app, and we'll see. We'll do little bit of customization, not too heavy customization, but at least we'll see. I'll select this. Okay. So I did that, and also I come to pages, and I go to the fetch data, and inside the fetch data, I'll do table striped and shadow. Little bit of customization. So to differentiate between the V1 and V2, and we do that. And let's go and check. It has perfectly created another staging. Okay, we have pod and dark pod. Okay, so the same example, I just want to match it with my story. I just kept it. Let's quickly go over this and see that. So here, when you come here, you can, oh God, it doesn't look good. Sorry for that. Whew, I am not a good guy to choose the colors. Alice blue. That's short. So sometimes you can do this hot reload. You can see that there's a little bit nice coloring of alternate rows and little bit of shadow. And you can see the color has changed from white to Alice blue. Okay, this is our version 2. Let me do one more adventure. I don't know whether it will misfire, but let me give that a shot. Table primary to a hard reload. Okay, so see that now the colors has changed. I will do a restart. Just want to see. I'll not spend any more minute on this one because we have other good things to do. Just we'll give this a shot. Whether we like the color or not, we'll go to production with this. We have to, yeah, that's the primary color. You can see that a difference. Okay, this is our version 2, and let's assume that customers liked it. They said that, okay, now we are able to see the grid properly, and we are ready with our celebration, and we need to go and deploy. So let's come back real quick and we see that, and let's go, and we need to deploy to dark pod, not to the prod. So what we have to do is we need to come back here and click on publish, and inside the publish, this is prod. Now we need to create a new profile, Azure and Windows service, and again go back to this one, and here in the Blazor, let's go to the slots. We have a dark pod here. Previously we didn't see anything here, guys. Now we have it. Now I do that and click on finish. So that is there. So we can come and validate here. Click on show settings, and we can come to this, and we see that it's doing a web deploy, and you can click on validate the connection. That will be the destination URL. You can see this hyphen dark pod. The difference between uh, the main application, the prod and dark pod. The difference between both is, we'll see this is the prod and this will be the dark pod. Let's try that. So right now both will be same. We didn't deploy anything, but just wanted to show you one difference, because at this point of time, the dark pod, this is the starting hosting HTML, we have it. So this is the dark pod and this is pod. And we can come back to the IDEs. You're seeing that dark pod, and again you have all these things. That means you are going to pay for that. You have all these things kept, so you will be paying more for that. Okay, that being said, let's come and we did a UAT, and all the customers, they liked our application. They said that yes, we can have a celebration after this deployment, and we are doing a deployment now. So that's doing the deployment to the dark pod, if I'm not wrong. We'll see that. Just let's give it a minute. Yeah, it's pushing to the dark pod. Okay. Oh, now what is happening is, if I come in and do a refresh, this we will see here. Let's close this and come back to the network. Did we lose it? Okay. Anyways, we have already seen that. We don't need to. So you can see the difference when I go to prod. Ow, I don't need it. I already opened it. So when I go to prod, you will see the version 1 here. Okay. When I go to dark pod, I will see the version 2. So we have two versions. Okay. The one is prod and the one is dark pod. I got it. Go, please. How? Sometimes tools will not listen to us. Okay, I'll not worry about it. So we have this both prod and dark pod. Okay, and each will have its own kudu console and everything we have seen just now. And what we can do is we can again come back to here. And what I want to do is I'm telling that, okay, let's do an A/B testing. So 50% of the traffic should go to prod and 50% of the traffic should go to dark pod. So let's give that a try. Are we lucky? Then see that. even though we are hitting the prod, so it's going to the prod and dark pod. So it does flip. If you're lucky, we'll see the um, that version. Now this guy is winning over us. So let's make it 90-10. Let's make it 90-10. Ah. Oh, this guy is winning all the time. But we will flip the traffic between both the slots. Okay, that will be there. So now right now we have two URLs. This is the existing URL, and the other one is the dark pod URL. So we will send this dark pod URL to all the QA people. They will go ahead and they will validate and they will certify. Then the business team and everyone certify. Now see this. Now we are back to V1 over here. So I don't know that is somewhat it was not picking up. Now we can see the difference. That's the reason I'm coming to a different the thing. So here I think for some reason it cached it. I think so. If I do this empty cache hard reload, empty cache hard reload. Okay, let's not waste our time. Here it shows. So here now it is like a 90-10. You might hit for 10-15 times, then you might see it, or you might not. But the traffic routing, that feature is there. And after the validation, everything is done. We are very happy, and we want to flip. So we are doing a swap, and okay, it's validating. If at all some errors are there, it will let us know. So we are doing from dark pod to prod. So prod is V1, dark pod is V2. Now prod will become V2 and dark pod will become V1. It shows all those values, whatever it's going to do that. But our main focus is deployment slots and the concepts around it. So I'm not doing any changes. We go. And now what we can do is we can come back and we'll tap here. Okay, let's tap over here at some point of time before it flips. Before it flips, you will see the change. The blue color will come. Anyways, this is the new one. It is version 1, and the deployment is swap is happening. This is the right time for us to go and play with this. See this swap is happening. While the swap is happening, we can come and play. See this swap is still happening. So this might be that 90-10. I'm assuming it, or it might have deployed it. Just let's go and see that. If that is the case, this should turn white. So it's not turning white. So I assume that, let's check this over here. Maybe it would have deployed also. We're not sure. So it's doing. Let's check that. The swap. Okay, the swap is completed. So now we can come back over here and check this, the prod. Okay, maybe it's going to 90-10 formula. See this, it is the dark pod has become white and the prod will turn light blue. The prod will turn light blue and the dark pod will turn white. And if we are happy, we can stick to this one as I built up the story. Or if you want to reswap, we can reswap. And again, we can do an A/B testing and swap this one. Okay, that's about the deployment slots. Okay, so now let's go to the next phase of our journey. Let's come to this web jobs. And so why is this web jobs coming into the picture? So I want to run some background tasks with the web jobs. So a lot of things is, let's assume that you created a web application with the framework or .NET, uh, .NET or .NET framework, and you are uploading the profile pictures, and that profile pictures will get saved onto the server. We are not saving to any blob or somewhere. We are saving it to the web server, and we can create a web job. So whenever the file gets dropped or every 1 minute, this web job will go and check that particular folder. If at all there are some images, that will take and put it, save it to the blob storage, and then drop a message in a queue. Another Azure function can go and make it a grayscale, or make it a thumbnail, or different use cases are there. So we can use for that's one of the use case. Or let's assume that we are integrating with the third party payment gateway, and once the payment gateway approves our payment, they drop a message in the service bus queue or Azure storage queue, and this our web job will go and pick up the message from the queue and update the SQL server or a Mongo, SQL server or Cosmos DB. It does that. So that's the pretty much an introduction of the web job. So the types of web jobs is again the continuous and trigger. So continuous starts immediately, and it is either triggered manually or on a schedule. Okay, we'll see that. Uh, and one important thing is, if we do a scaling, the continuous will run on every instance. Like if you have 3 instances of the web application, the continuous web jobs will run in all the 3 instances. But the triggered one it's triggered on a queue. It's not on this number of instances we are scaling up, isn't it? So if we have, in the triggered scenario, if we have scaled your web application, you have 3 instances of the web application, but that's a triggered on the blob storage or on the queue. So in that case, what happens is, it runs only on one instance. It doesn't run on all the instances. Okay, and supports remote debugging. It doesn't, and that gets deployed inside root app data jobs continuous or triggered. We'll see that the both, and the supported scripts or programs is we have wide variety of things which is supporting, and maybe new things might come. Okay, how do you create the continuous one? You can go ahead and click on jobs, and you upload a zip file, and then you will see that we will do that. We will create two different things. So that's the one. And someone can ask that, why do we need web jobs when we have an Azure Functions? Okay, so the one of the motivating factors to choose the web job is, it runs within the context of the application. That's the key thing which I see as the motivation or the driving force. Why do we choose it? Uh, because see this, yeah, this one. So runs script, simplified code. So web jobs. Web job is, I'll show you that piece of code in a moment. Okay, so the main driving force is that when you want to execute something within the context of the application, because they are sharing the resource, like ACUs, they are sharing the ACUs. Like you have a web application and web job, those both are like brothers. They stick together and they will share the space. So if your web job is eating up a memory or RAM, that means you are bringing down your web application. So please ensure all these things before choosing web jobs. And uh, you have the entire uh, web web app. The web job can access the entire web app. That we will see that in a moment. Okay. See that the rest of the comparison between Azure Functions and this web jobs. These guy is winning. But the triggers, if you see that to a decent extent, we have the storage queues and service bus queues, and we can go ahead and update the Cosmos DB event, and we can write, we can have the DB context, and from the web jobs, we can go and update database, maybe the SQL Server or the Cosmos DB. And to a decent extent, we have the triggers for both. Okay. So supported languages are bunch. Here it is C sharp. I think that's enough for us to set the context. Let's go and play around. Okay, let me close this. I'm calling it as Razor app. Okay, it's falling in at the place. It's .NET 6 HTTPS. We'll come back to other things, blob and other storages. I think right. So let me have set this as a startup project, and we'll not spend much time. We'll just quickly. I mean, that if I start speaking about the changes in .NET 6, we might derail ourselves and deviate. So I'm just sticking to the game plan. So this is just a hello world of the app. I'm not going to do any customization. We'll take it as it is and will work. Okay, let's go and deploy this guy. Now, let's publish to app service and NFR. That's Razor. Finish. And again, come back to the settings if you want to see how they are doing. They're doing the web deploy, and these are the there's a username, there's a password. You can use that. You can validate the connection. Takes few seconds to go ahead and validate, and you can see a green tick mark. And it has already done, but I just want to show you that. So click on a publish. You can go and check the web publishing activity. So it's going to deploy to the Razor, and you can go and check the details, what all the things it's going to push. We can have a live watch on that. See it's deploying all these things, but within few seconds we'll get through this, and I think it's almost done. Publish is succeeded, right? So we have successfully deployed this. Let me come back over here and go to the Razor app, and on that, so you see it over here. So I'll move this towards the end so that all the brothers will stay. Oh, all the how that guy himself has provided. Okay, so that's the our Razor app, and these are our Blazor apps. Okay, that's cool. So let me keep this Kudu console open for this one also. Advanced tools. Let me go to the Kudu console before we do any other things. So we'll come back over here. So let's build up a story. So I will create two folders over here. Add a solution folder. I call it as logs, and I'll create another folder because we need different logs, and I'm calling it as logs backup. Okay, so I'm going to create a couple of text files just to keep it very simple. I'm making it pretty fast. Okay, so let's go ahead and check the text files. Okay, we have text files. So I will assume that these are some of the logs. Okay, and this one, and I'll make it like two different dates. Let's assume these two different log files are there, and this we call it as uh, log day one, and this we call it as uh, log day two. Okay, we'll copy that and put it in this here also. So let's select these two and go to properties, and I will tell this as copy always. Technically, we should assume that I'm building a story that assume that we are having our log files written somewhere locally, just to uh, build our story on this one. Okay. So I'll do the same thing. I will go ahead and make it like copy always. Okay, so we did that, and then again we'll go ahead and publish this, and we'll see those files are getting deployed in the Kudu console. Or we can check here itself that that should be okay. But let's stick to the game plan. I love Kudu console. Let's come back to the Kudu console, and let's wait for a minute for it to give us the control back. And let me go to the site. Let me go to the, okay. Let me go to the site and www root. If not, we'll create a folder and we'll go ahead. That should be fine. Www root. It didn't create this. Wow. Okay, that should be perfectly fine. If it is not creating, it's not creating. Let's not waste our time. We did that. We'll spend 30 seconds time, not more. Get into this. Okay, I don't see that. Fair enough. That should be fine. So what we will do is we'll come back over here, and we'll enable application log. We'll build up another story. If this is not working, we'll build up another story, because I didn't write the code to create the log files. So let's come back over here, go back to the log files, and here itself we can create mkdir application and cd application. Let's assume that, and we'll say that null log day one txt, and okay, cd log files, cd application, and ls. We have one file, and we'll dar. We'll do another file, null log day2 dot day2.txt. I mean, I'm keeping it simple because our focus is majorly on this demo. It's not on creating of the log file. So I just want to keep it pretty simple. So let's assume we have this one. So now what we can do is we will come here and go ahead and check the web jobs. We'll do two types of deployment. One, we'll create it with the portal. One, we'll create it with Visual Studio 2022. So we'll see that. So let me close this, and let's come and click on add, and cleanup logs. That's the name I'm giving. So select the folder, delete text files. That's the file. It's a pretty simple one. It's not a big code there. Let me show you that. It's there in our starter file, so you guys can go and check that. It's just change directory, percentile home, and log files and application. So let's come back over here and okay. Okay. So percentile home means it comes to C home, and inside that we are telling uh, change directory home slash log files. So percentile home, and then we are saying that cd log files, and then we are saying cd application. So technically you are coming to this folder with this one line, and then del txt. So all the text files will be deleted. It's nothing a big thing, but just a hello world of that. Okay, we're calling it as continuous. It should start continuously. And here you see that the scale, it, it whether it should scale multi-instance or it should be single instance, whatever it is, based on your requirement. In triggered, if you see triggered, you can make it like a scheduled, or you can make it manually triggered. So let's make our life easy. The triggered one we'll see next. We'll be saying that multi-instance. I click on that. Uh, okay, successfully it has created the web job. It takes a couple minutes, but it will give us a control. Okay, it's initializing. Let's give it a minute. Okay, pending restart. And let's ensure that it's not bringing down our application. Okay, now let me go back to this one and get into this app service plan. I want to show something else. Now here, if you see that, whether it's when you do staging, that means this and the main application, everyone using the same ACUs. The compute is being divided between all these folks. So please keep that in mind, that you will get charged for, and also that resources has been shared between that. So see this now, the CPU is always 60 and above. Okay, so just we need to be very careful on all these things. Whatever I'm doing is just a hello world of the demo, so I don't need to worry about it. So let's see that it's pending restart. Let's go to the logs. You can see the jobs board here. Let's give it a minute. In the meanwhile, let's go and check. Do we have the files here? Those files has been cleaned up. So that means it has executed the job once. And you can see that. I'll come back to the jobs. And the job has executed. That's what we have seen, isn't it? It executes immediately once we create it. So let me go ahead and create null log day3.txt and give me control. Okay, that's there. And cd log file slash Now. Mhm. CD log files, CD application. You see that? I think is it still showing the pending restart? Why? It shouldn't show that. Okay. Anyway, let's restart the entire application. I don't know, it is troubling me. That's the reason I'm restarting, but technically we don't need to restart at all. Just that it is troubling me. I did a restart. Let's go back to the web jobs over here and loading the web jobs. Could not refresh. Or might be the same compute is being used by multiple things. That might be the problem. Okay, let me start this. Okay, we have seen that. It comes and see this. It does change directory to log file and application, and it is deleting that. So it's deleting. So technically, whatever the files we drop it here uh, will get deleted. You saw that log files and cd application and dar. So see that it removed that. So when I do null uh, uh, log day4 dot dat or log whatever, I use a different name. Let me use dat, and then I'll create log files and then application. Then I do dir and then I create null log day4.txt. Okay, so we have a couple of files, and let's come and toggle the output and go back to the web jobs and see. Oh God, I don't know. I think it's something problematic with that. I don't think so. We don't need to do that all. I am really not sure it's continuous. Let's, yeah, web job has started. Okay, web job has started. Let's come back to the kudu console and cd log files and cd application, and we do dir. So let's wait until that execute this. It's loading. When is that? 442. Let's do a refresh. Refreshed a moment ago. So let's come back and check this. Do a dir. So see that the text file it is removing, but the dat file it is keeping it. So this is the simple web job which we created using the portal. So now how can we go ahead and create another web job from Visual Studio? So we can right mouse click on that and add new and search for web job. Okay, you see the .NET framework. We can create a console app in .NET 6 and then publish it as web job. That is another mode, but this is the second method. We'll do these two and go to the next topic. And then what we will do is we'll click on next, and we call it as payment processor. I'm calling it as payment processor. It is framework 7. We can create a console app with .NET Core and we can push that. Okay. So one nice thing I like it here is that we can do a cleanup over here, it does everything, and we can do analyze and code cleanup. So across the solution, it goes and it cleans up. I really like that. So the simplest thing is it has got app config. We need Azure Web Job Dashboard. That's I got confused with that. I thought that I need to paste the dashboard URL. I came in, I pasted this here. Then later I found it threw error and it said that it should be the connection string. That was my foolishness. I'm sorry for that, but that's one thing. And we need a connection string for that. And this is the function where you can write. As we have seen that multiple triggers are there, we can work with a blob queue, Azure storage queue, or a service bus queue, event tabs, Cosmos. Lot of things are there, but we'll make our life easy to keep it pretty simple. And at the same time, I want to, because we'll do another publish now, I want to add application insights to this guy. Application insights in there and NFR, and I have to push it to this one, Microsoft Reactor. And that is getting stored. I click on next and I click on, so it says the code will be added to the project to enable the dependencies. Everything it's going to take care of that. And also it's going to add to the secrets.json. That means I will not have anything stored there. Let's add that application insights. I mean, we can do a deep dive into the application insights. We can write the telemetry and verify that how many milliseconds it took when you're hitting a third-party API or when you're hitting the stored procedure. We can check the hot path. A lot of things are there, but we are keeping it pretty simple. Just want to show that. And this is the code which comes out of the box, which runs that. Okay, that's continuously. It runs continuously. And there are different ways to do that. What we can do is we can click on add and add Azure Web Job to the project. Okay, so that dialog, it comes. Oh, okay, no problem. That should be fine. We'll do another mode to do that. What we can do is we can right mouse click and we can click and we can go ahead and publish this. Okay, and I'm telling that it's a web job. I want to publish it. And let's go and publish to the Razor guy here. And so it's going to publish this. You can come and check the settings here. Technically, this is what it used to do that. It's release .NET 6 and the payment processor. That's the triggered one. Okay, click on save. And once we do that, you see that settings job. So the settings job is trigger its schedule. So let's do it every minute. I'll uncomment this and I'll keep it there and close everything. Close all tabs and let's do two different publishings. First, let's publish this. Before publishing it, you see that there is line number 10. We need to payments queue. Let's write payments queue. Okay, that's the queue which has to be there. So let's come back to this and go to the reactor and come back to that and go to the queue and create a payments queue. Okay, we created the payment, assuming that some third-party guys are dropping the payments here. That's the story which we are building right now. Okay, so and here in this app settings, we need the connection string. So I'll come back to the storage account, go to the keys, show keys, copy this and paste it twice. Right, all is well. All is well. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll first publish this guy. It's publishing. Let's give it a minute, guys. Okay, that's done. Then we'll go and publish the I'm sorry, publish this web job, and let's go and play around this one. Different calls will make it, and we can come to that application insights where we have opened, and I will switch on the live metrics, and it will start. In the meanwhile, it is starting. I will come and start clicking on this. Let's come and check this live metrics. You're seeing that as and when I'm clicking, I can go and see. We'll come back and we'll discuss this in a minute. Okay. So I do a refresh. That will show the map it's showing, and seeing that application API reactor. So it gives us this map. Oh, what happened? Let's deploy that. Let's give it another shot now. Why? It says that. Hold on, let's clean the solution and publish. Mm, why? Doesn't do that. No, 1 second. Let's see what it's telling. It's not able to copy that. Why? We have this application insights is ready. And the queue is also ready. Everything is there, and we have this schedule. Let's check this 1 second. Let's real quick. Let's go. Okay, let's do another try. Show all settings. Triggered. We'll cancel this. Let me delete this file and create a new one. Let's try to push it to the Blazor this one. I call it this one. Go here. Let's give that a shot. I don't know why it's not working now, which it was working last night. I click on that. Let's give it a shot right now. Wow. Could not copy this. Okay, what it says, it could not copy to do source but app data jobs triggered. Oh, okay. So let me do that. Okay. Let's try now. It shouldn't trouble us for sure. Let's give this one shot. If not, we'll do it in the. Ow. Uh, oh God. Okay. Let's give that a real quick minute. Another try. Let's take it a simple web job. Uh, where is it? Web job. Web job. Web job. Azure web job. Okay. Azure web job is here. Let's select next, and I will use the same name. I don't want to do anything else. And let me close this and close everything. Okay, so let's take this as a startup project and let's directly go ahead and deploy this, guys. So then we will go ahead and change those other stuff. So right now I'm going in here, this one, and I'm selecting the Razor pages, the Razor, and I click on finish. Once it gets deployed, then we will see. Then we will see changing it to triggered or other things. So okay, now it's deploying. That's good. So now we can go ahead and change all those things whichever we need it. So I'll bring in these two lines from here because now it will fail many times. By the time we'll go ahead and create all these things, that's there. And click on close. And another thing what we need is inside the function, we called it as a payments queue. I'll close this and go to the function, and I call this as payments queue. That's perfect. I don't know why the other one was not working. That's fine. I mean, let's check this. We have this, and we have uh, this queue triggered and uh, scheduled. Run every 1 minute. We can do this one also if you want to schedule it. Okay, so this is what we'll do it, and I'll close everything. And again, we'll do another deployment real quick. Go and publish this and click on publish. So while this is publishing, let's quickly come to the Razor Pages app. See that the web job one, it has never run. So we can click on that. The web jobs and click on it. It never ran. That should be fine. So what we will do is we'll go to the queues and go to the payments queue. And assuming that books payment success. Let's assume we got this from the payment processor. And where is that? We are here and it's initializing. I mean, this is not it will be. It will be in green color. I have tested it multiple times, but I am really not sure why it is troubling. So you can see that it is running this. We can click on that and see this. Once you come in here, that's when it is telling that Azure Web Jobs Dashboard. If when you hear the word dashboard, I assume that it is some URL, but it said that that should be in this format. Or click on a toggle, so you can see that the new message was detected and it succeeded. Now you can come back to that payments queue and do a refresh. That's gone. So let's assume now we are TV, you're purchasing a TV and the payment processor is done. So let's see that the payment processor for that. So let's come back to this one. There should be another run. Right now it is running. I can come back to this one, toggle output. And again, there's another one. So you can come in and see this. Actually, it will be in this green color, guys. I don't know why this one is not working. We'll see that in the next episode when we are doing. We'll see that. So now that we can come back to the payment processing queue and we can see that it's gone. Okay. And another couple of points I would like to quickly cover is related to the application insights. You can see that when I do refresh, it says uh, like how many calls, 67 calls were made, and it gives all those breakups. And you have the live metrics, which I kept it here. We can go through that. We can come and see the performance. It says that what all the uh, uh, top three guys who are troubling us, and you have see that beautiful things you have. So in 59 minutes, a lot of messages, request counts are going all the way to 400. And failures, if at all there are some failures, this guy will highlight that. At this point of time, there are zero fail out of 2.5K things, including this Azure Blob Storage, invalid operation exception. That might be before we created the queue. It might be that. I'm not sure. Yeah, that's the one, right? So we didn't give the storage account because when we are testing that, we directly published it first just to see that publishing is succeeded then before proceeding that. And you can see this availability over here. Uh, and the next thing is transaction search. So we can click and check what happened in the last half an hour, or you have customization. You can go and check that how many calls are there, almost 5,000 calls, and you can go and check that dependencies, all the things are there. Okay. And you can get into this, and you can view telemetry. So you can see that where the request has started, how it is proceeding. So if you have UI, middle tier, and the backend, so everything will get tracked. All we do is we'll have a GUI transaction ID or something, context ID. We'll pass it to different layers, and using that transaction ID, you can search and you'll get a full history what happened over there, right? So let's come back to this one, and you can see the live metrics here. If at all there is some issue in the production and you want to go ahead and investigate how many things are failing, you can come and see that. At this point of time, there are I assume that there are zero failures. If not, it would have highlighted here itself, and you can see that what all the traces. And because we didn't hit anything in the post request, but if not, the request will also come. You have the traces, you have the dependencies, and you can see that outgoing request and call failure rates. Okay, call failure rates and request rates is almost 2 requests per second. It's coming around an overall health, committed memory, and it's giving a lot of other information. So you can see this, and you can check this application map, and this application map will give you a beautiful diagram, like what is that function and to which other external components it is communicating, how many calls went in and which failed. And you can dig in more. You have an opportunity to go and dig, like what happened to that call, why did it fail. Okay, so that's it, guys, for today. And hope you guys. I parked two things to the next session. I parked that backing up the web apps, and then the couple of Azure mini projects. I mean, the Azure function mini projects which I did it. I just want to show that, but it will take more time. So I'll park it to the next one. We have other sessions coming in, isn't it? We'll take it in future sessions. Okay. So, yep. Anything else? Hello. Okay. Any queries from anyone? Any feedback? How did you like the speed was okay, or speed was too much, or the content was okay, or any feedback, positive or negative, that will help me fine tune my future demos. Melvin, Ranjit, Vijay Kulkarni. Is it is it your first name or last name? I'm not sure. Dima. And Sachin, Dheeraj, Dinesh, Anil, others. Anyone who has got any queries or any feedback? How did you like the content? Dheeraj, Dinesh, Ganesh, Rajender, Jatin, Pooja Sachdev, um, Ranganath, Simon, Sunil Kumar, Vijay Kulkarni, anyone. Is my voice audible?
Yes, Swami.
Oh, okay. I was just thinking that anyone, okay. Dheeraj, Bhubal, Ranganath. Okay, good. If you have any suggestions or feedback, please feel free to post it here, because that will help me in my future sessions to fine tune the content. Okay. So if we don't have any other queries, I think we can close this, and please keep go and watch all the previous 8 sessions. This is the 9th session. There are future sessions which is coming in, and in the Bangalore Reactor, Microsoft Meetup Bangalore, in that Reactor YouTube channel, you will be able to see all those videos. Okay, so search for AZ-204. There is a playlist. In that you will see all the 8 videos, and this video might get added in a day or two. Okay, so if you have any queries, we'll take that queries. If not, we can close the bridge. Anyone has got any queries? Final call. Okay, Rashmita, I assume there are no queries.
Yeah, I also think so. So
Okay.
thank you so much, Swami, for this session, and thank you all for joining us today. Please visit our Microsoft Reactor Bengaluru Meetup page for more upcoming sessions. Thank you once again, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Bye, folks.